Hello everybody, I'm back and I wanted to do a layout on the Chris Watts home. There seems to be paranormal activity, and let's see if we can explain some of this. Okay? So police officers went in with canine, and what they heard when they first walked in was a woman saying no. So what we want to ask, is this Shannon's voice saying no? It is. That is Shannon's voice. Okay. So we have Shannon coming in and then seeing everything that's going on within her home. So that is her saying no. We also get giggling of one of the daughters giggling in the closet. I don't remember, unfortunately, I want to say it's Bella, the older one, who is giggling in the closet. So is this Bella in her mother's closet? Okay. Yes. So this is Bella, because there's 3 of them that had crossed over. And then here she is. This is her happy place. And here's the closet with all of the purses and the shoes in there. And that's her energy that's in there. That's her, doing her laughing and giggling. And part of that too was probably because, the dog was in there and the dog had sensed her. So for her, that was fun. It's a fun place for her to be. And then we also hear where she is also giggling on a voice on the cell phone that I guess the dad's mistress had called Chris, and so there's giggling on Chris's phone, and that is also because spirits can tap into electronics. So is this also her giggling? Yes. Yeah, see, this is also her giggling. This shows too, she had crossed over. She was taken out by her father. Here's Chris. I mean, here's the daughter. I'm sorry. Here's the daughter. And here's Chris coming in over her. You see the dark figure? It's like a big bear coming over her. And that's strangulation. That's taking her life. The tiger's tail is wrapped around the throat. And that's her crossing over. Okay? But she likes to hide. So she's almost like playing hide and seek with the people in there and the dog. Because when the dog goes to her bedroom, they go to a book under the bed, and the handler of the dog says, "Oh, there's nothing there but just a book." But yet you hear the child giggling. And that's because the child was actually under the bed playing. So was she under the bed? Yes. This is a big yes. This is the bed. And that's her spirit. It's like in fragments. But to her, that's her safe zone. Her safe place is in the home. And that's like Shannon. Every piece of energy she has, she put into that home, whether it's painting, making murals on the wall, anywhere from the pillows to the sheets to the painting, anything hanging on the wall, everything in there says her name and has her energy on it. So yeah, they are going to go back there because to them, that's their piece of heaven, their safe haven right there. And then we also want to ask, where you hear the daughter also saying, "Mommy, Mommy," and you hear Shannon saying, "I'm with Cece." So, is this Shannon saying, "I'm with Cece"? Yes. Because here's Shannon right here. Here's Shannon right here, and here's Chris. Okay, he feels he ruled that house. He ruled over everybody, even though it was darkness. And here's the mom right here. Here's Shannon. And here's the 3 babies. Bella, Cece, and Nico. And like I said, whatever goes in the dark, whatever's done in the dark comes into light. But yeah, and that is the 3 of them in the home now. So that was Shannon's voice saying, I'm here and I'm protecting, what we have now. That's a reason why you also hear her say, this is our home. When she's saying this is our home, is she's seeing the police officers and the canine as intruders. Yes. Yeah, because they're not seeing what she sees. When you cross over, it's a different point of view. This is a different point of view, And she's still a very loving and caring mom, even though she has crossed over. Does she know, what happened? Yeah, but she's not understanding it. When I see these 2 snake heads and they're going the opposite way, to me, those are 2 people who do not see eye to eye. And this is also some of the violent tendencies that happen to come through right here. Okay. I see this as, being beaten, hit. Here's bloodshed. Okay, but back to the paranormal. That is Shannon and the kids. It's also said, well, I did listen to the recording and I did hear, I believe there were voices in the garage or it was the basement, but I'm not sure if I could really say that was a child's giggle because it was such a short EVP. And then it was the same thing. There is a man's voice and there's a woman moaning. So it would be a good thing to find out who was in that home prior to them. Was there a death in that home? Was there some type of accident in there? But we want to stay to the paranormal, what's going on with this family right here. Okay, so that's what I get. And if you get anything else out of this, tell me what your thoughts are. Okay, let me know what you think. And I'm also going to do one on Bigfoot. Let's ask. So we want to ask, is Bigfoot real? So is Bigfoot real? Yes, and baby Bigfoots are real. And this is Bigfoot. This is how they start to set up. They use these sticks and branches and they use the rocks and they set up their own home, And this is them. It's almost like saying how they open up and teleport to different areas. They do love being around up in the mountains, definitely. It's mostly cited that they are up in the mountains. But it's their choice to let people see them. And there's also baby Bigfoots, okay? Now, I also like to do one on the Lizzie Borden house. I believe now there actually are a lot of the ghost hunting and paranormal groups that do go up there. So let's see what we get with the Lizzie Borden house. And I like to cut my cards 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So for the Lizzie Borden house, is Lizzie Borden the one that haunts the house? Here's the house that has come down. There's the Lizzie Borden house. That's the ghosts that lived there, that occupy it. And there was a lot of anger and things that happened to where the murders took place. So here's ghosts. Here's all the energy and people that come in. So we want to stick to the question. Is Lizzie Borden the one haunting the house? I don't get she is haunting the house. I don't get Lizzie Borden is haunting the house, but I do get others that come in and do haunt the house. There's a male figure there. But you know, these people are still not at rest. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Okay. But it's also too a lot of this dark energy that comes in because people tend to I want to say conjure up other spirits to find out what's going on. And so who killed Lizzie Borden? Did Lizzie Borden kill her father? Okay, there's Lizzie. There's her thoughts. It's almost like she's getting ready to, you know, this is also like a club, or it could be an axe, because it was known that she did use an axe. This is a big yes. So we get that she did kill her father to where he did cross over. And this was she was a very angry person, but she wanted to be seen in the light as, you know, a victim of circumstances of what's happening. Okay. So she was able to escape the jury that had come in, and the judge seen her as this innocent woman. So yeah, once he dismissed court, you know, she was saved from, it was just all over and done with. So she was saved from, back then they would have hung her, from her being hung, from being executed. Did Lizzie Borden also kill her stepmother? 1, 2, 3. She definitely did. She definitely did kill her stepmother. This right here, even though the mother and father were married, I see this when he comes in as the angel of death. And this is the unspoken act and thoughts that she did. That she, the thought she had of hurting and executing the mother, her stepmother, and which is what she did. Okay. And once again, this could still be an axe. We all know she used an axe, you know, but that was also a lot of the bloodshed that had happened. We also heard that there are children that are there playing, and the children came from next door. A mother had drowned her children in the well. So people don't understand why they're hearing these children in the Borden house, because they never lived there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to ask, and then we're going to explain. Are these children from next door that have passed, from the hands of their mother, are they now haunting the Borden house? Are they now in the Borden's house? Yes. Yes. So this is them when this is the well. This represents the well. Here's the water. And here's the children. Little ghosties, little spirits. Okay. And they all gather. They all gather. And they gather at the Borden's house because usually you're not going to have one ghost in a home. It's very rare to have one ghost in a home. As above, so below. Meaning if they were more like a hermit and they were territorial and they had to be in their own space when they were alive, then that's the only time you will find one ghost occupying the home. Well, these children were all still loving and having fun. They've seen the activity and the people there, so they gather there and they run around and they play. That's what all the giggling is. And then, will these hauntings ever stop? No. The energy is always going to be going, is because people realize what happened there at the Borden house. Okay, the death. And that just makes a lot of energy in people that are curious. So no matter what, this energy is going to keep going, because even if somebody tried to go and clear that house, people are going to go and call them right back in. So it doesn't do any good. And you can always get interesting EVPs out of there. So that's always a good thing to do. And when you're getting EVPs, you want to make sure who you're connecting with. Like if you're there and you want to connect, let's say when the Bordens died, you can ask, who's the president? You can use trigger objects. You can ask him, who was the president when you were walking on this earth? You can also give him an offering if he's, let's say he smoked cigars and he liked to read the newspapers. You can get some old newspapers and cigars. You can make an offering to help, communicate and get a better EVP session. But basically, you're becoming your own detective when you do this work. Okay? So that's it for now. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.